Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Davis, and today I'm going to be talking to you about caffeine, specifically within the realm of sports performance and regulations dealing with the NCAA. So when we first hear the word caffeine, we think about our same and greatest cup of coffee in the morning. Mine specifically is Folgers, or we think about that afternoon soda, or anything of the sort. There are several forms of commonly consumed products that have caffeine in them. Like I just mentioned, our cup of coffee. Then we have our sodas like Coca-Cola. Green tea also has a significant amount of caffeine within it. And also we have chocolate, so chocolate bars. And one thing I did not realize that has caffeine in it is any kind of protein bar that contains chocolate. So if you have a protein bar with chocolate chips in it, then it's going to have caffeine in it because anything that comes from cocoa has caffeine in it. So those are some commonly consumed food products that have caffeine in them. Now, we think of caffeine to kind of give us alertness, wake us up in the mornings, give us that afternoon pick-me-up, but caffeine can also be beneficial for sports performances. So, for example, endurance sports can benefit from caffeine because as you consume caffeine, your body increases its production of beta endorphins. These beta endorphins are associated with pain perception. So if you have a high amount of beta endorphins, then you have a lower pain perception. So if you are a cross-country runner or you play soccer and you participate in these endurance sports and you have a lot of beta endorphins in your body, it kind of allows you to push through the pain because your pain perception is not as high, and so your body doesn't feel the fatigue and you're able to go longer. Now, when you consider strength sports or power performance sports, caffeine is also beneficial because there's been several studies done that show that caffeine can increase your amount of reps at a maximum weight. So studies have taken people without consuming caffeine or a placebo, and then measured their maximum weight for maximum reps. And then they've done the same thing with people that have consumed caffeine, and it has showed that with the consumption of caffeine, you have a higher amount of reps at a maximum weight. So if you do choose to consume just a little bit of caffeine before you do a workout, research shows that one should consume about 2 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So this equals out to about 1 to 3 cups of coffee for a person that weighs about 150 pounds. So this is just like a great little ratio that you can do the math for your specific body weight to kind of figure out how much caffeine you need to consume before you work out. And research also shows that if you're going to consume caffeine before you work out, you want to do so about an hour beforehand. This allows the caffeine to get within the body and get your body going before you actually perform. Another thing that you want to consider as far as caffeine consumption when it comes to sport athletes and sport performance is everybody can react to caffeine differently. If you take me, for example, I drink 1 to 2 cups of coffee every day, so I'm kind of used to a caffeine intake daily. If I were to drink a cup of coffee before a workout, I may not feel the same effects as someone who rarely ever drinks caffeine. So that's something you want to keep in mind when you're consuming caffeine for sports performances. Now, this is something that we really want to keep in mind as far as college athletes, specifically those that perform for the NCAA. So the NCAA has banned any kind of caffeine supplements as it is not regulated, and they feel that it is a form of cheating. So when I heard this first, I was like freaking out. I was like, I drink coffee all the time. Am I going to fail a drug test when I have a drug test for the NCAA? But it's actually, there's a set limit of caffeine that you can have present within your urine. So this is about 15 milligrams per milliliter of urine. So this actually it is equivalent to 6 to 8 cups of coffee within 2 hours before athletic performance. So that is a significant amount of caffeine. So this isn't just your ordinary, like, oh, I'm going to drink a soda and then I'm going to fail a drug test. No, it's not anything like that. It's a significant amount of caffeine. But you can reach this amount of caffeine if you take caffeine supplements. So this is concentrated forms of caffeine. So you can get these at like a vitamin store. You can see those kind of places. However, those are the things that are banned by the NCAA. So that's something you really want to caution yourself if you're an athlete or if you're a coach of an athlete, as far as what you want your players to have. So caffeine has shown to be very beneficial. However, you have to do it within regulation of the NCAA. So I personally think caffeine has some positive benefits to it, but I think it should be used within caution and only as a supplement, not to fill in for anything that you're lacking. So as an athlete, you definitely want to get plenty of sleep, and you want to get plenty of your 3 macronutrients. So these are your carbohydrates, these are your proteins, and these are your fatty acids. So you want to mainly get those because those are your essential building blocks for your muscles that thus translate into your athletic performance. So if you have those 3 and you add caffeine on as a little pick-me-up, that's great. But if you're lacking one of those 3, or you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep and you use caffeine to kind of fill in the gap, that's when your athletic performance can actually suffer, because your body doesn't have all the good, strong nutrients that it really needs in order to perform at its highest potential. So that's kind of my opinion on it. I think caffeine is great in certain circumstances, but one, it has to be used within reason and within regulation, and also you have to take care of your body and make sure your body's getting the stuff it needs before it gets the stuff it wants. So that's just a little bit of fun facts, short clips about caffeine, how it's used in ordinary life, and how it can be supplemented within sport performance. If you have any questions, just let me know, but I hope this video is very informative.